If there's one practice that will change your entire life on how you see God's provision, it's this: write it down. Because what you don't record, you forget. And what you forget, you can't build trust from. I want you to create your own provision tracker. Grab a notebook, your journal, there's a piece of paper, stick it, post-it note. And today and every day that you want, going here on out, I want you to write down, today God provided for me by, and then fill in the blank. That's it. It doesn't have to be big, it doesn't have to be impressive, it just has to be real. Write down your evidence of what God has provided for you in your life. These are some examples. Like, it's not just finances. Certainly, having a bill paid feels great, especially in these days, but you can write down things like, I had the strength to get through the day. That conversation with the stranger at Walmart, helped me. The video that I came across on my feed answered a prayer. I answered a question I had. Something worked out for me that I was worried about. I felt unexpected peace when I expected stress, when I made this phone call, those kind of things. Write down everything. And at first it might feel small, but over time something incredible actually happens once you start writing all this down. You begin to see the patterns. You see and notice, become aware of the consistency and faithfulness of God. You begin to realize that God is showing up every day. You may not have realized it, it's just an awareness issue, but once you really start to understand and know that God is with you, God is for you, and God shows up, walks with you in every moment, and is always your provider, it changes your whole walk with Him. Instead of relying on your feelings, which are not facts, you have proof. You have proof of God's faithfulness, His provision. You have a record. You can always return to this provision tracker, your journal, your list, your log, whatever you call it, Every time fear rises, the doubt rises, the question like, oh, in this new moment, is God going to provide? You can be like, oh, let me get my provision journal and look at all the ways, yes, He's provided, and I can trust that He's going to provide in this moment, in this situation. God's not fazed by anything. He's already prepared a way out. He's already prepared provision. He's walking with you. He's walked before you, He's made the way. So you can trust that. But it just takes building trust. And once you see it on a piece of paper, like all the ways He's provided for you, that evidence, it'll train your mind to believe. And trust, Trust is not built by trying harder, or trying to force a spiritual experience, force a relationship with God. This trust is just built simply on seeing clearly, seeing the truth, becoming aware of God in the moment that's always existed, that we may be too hyper-focused in fear or worry or doubt. So when fear tries to rise again, reference your prayer, your provision tracker, journal, where your log, wherever it's at, but write it down every day. Make a memo in your phone on the go if you don't carry a little notepad with you, You think you remember things, but I know, like, I have a little ADHD, so I don't remember things well unless I write them down. So it may be a cumbersome practice to start, a habit that you're not used to, but trust me, once you start writing it down, make your own provision tracker, it'll change the way you see God, the way He provides, builds the trust, releases that anxiety, so you can walk by faith and walk in confidence in the Lord, that no matter what, He's going to provide, even if you don't know how. You can trust that. Your reflection question of the day is, what would it look like for me to track God's provision consistently? Now think about it. How helpful would it be to track His provision? Do you actually remember every time that He's provided for you? If you have the memory, bring up a log, go for it. But it's okay. The rest of us have to write it down. So write it down, make it proof, make it evidence, so you can see it, and you have that to come back to and revisit every time the doubt comes up in a new situation. You can trust Him. And here's just a quick prayer to end the day. God, help me stay consistent in remembering. Teach me to notice and to record Your faithfulness daily so that I can build my trust on what is true. Amen. I'll see you in another video on provision. I love you guys.